Okay, guys, let's start going through your big quiz here. Make sure when you're writing the derivative, if it starts as y prime, you could also write dy dx if you wanted to. But make sure you aren't just saying like negative 15x to the fourth minus 6x. Like, have an equation in here. So you could say that if you wanted to as well. Okay. So we'll look at the first 5 and see if we have any issues on those. Number 2, you certainly could do with the quotient rule, but it's faster to rewrite it as a negative exponent and then do the power rule with it, okay? You'll get the same answer, or you should get the same answer, but one way is easier. Anybody questions 1 through 5? Okay. All right, guys, I'll keep scrolling. Stop me if we have issues. 6, this is the answer here, and it should say f prime of x.
You just multiply out the top.
Yeah, because once you're here, like, that's not really simplified, because you could distribute and multiply and combine like terms. It doesn't lend itself to like the fancy factoring. I know it's uncomfortable, but that's it. I mean, you could factor a 2 out of all of that if you wanted to, but that's still kind of unsatisfying. So. Seven is really just knowing your quotient rule, and then 8, remember to write an equation, you need a point and a slope. That up for you. If you need me to go through any of these, please just ask. Or if you can't read something, let me know that too, okay.
That's just point slope form.
Yeah, and you can stop there. Like, you can solve for y if you want to, but you're welcome to just stop at point slope. All right, guys, questions through 8? We doing okay, guys? All right, flip it over. Number 10 is the second derivative. There are none of those on your test. It's just find the derivative of the derivative, but will not be on your test.
Can you go over
11, sure. So when you're writing an equation of the line, you need a point and a slope, right? Okay. F of 2 equals 8. What is the x value there?
2,
Okay, what is the y value?
8.
Okay, so there's your point. And then this one, what does the derivative tell me? So slope is 5. And then that's it. So it's actually really easy if you know what it's telling you. Let me go back up here so you can see 9 again. Were you guys okay on 9?
You
Yep.
set it equal to 0 and then plug in the x values to the original equation to get the y values.
Yep. Because if we're talking about a tangent line being horizontal, that means the slope is 0. So the derivative you set equal to 0. Find those x values, plug them back into the original to get the points. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. So guys, number 12, like the A could have been anywhere in this section. Like anywhere that it's increasing, you could have put your point A. And then C, it doesn't say where the value of the derivative is negative. It just says where the value of the function is negative. So that has to be somewhere below the x-axis. You have to read things very carefully in this unit. Are we talking about the function? Are we talking about the derivative? And then I think you can see where the D's go. They're the maximums or the minimums. $13 was knowing your limit definition of the derivative. That was answer D.
Can you go to that one?
Sure. So do you remember that? Back from like 10.2 or something. So that's the limit definition of the derivative. And so then on this problem, f of x was square root of x plus 1. So when I go to plug that in, the f of x plus 1 is going to be the square root of x plus h plus 1 minus f of x, so minus square root of x plus 1 all over h. Yeah, it's just plugging it in from there. And I shouldn't have that. We don't need that part, sorry. Just the limit as this is happening. There's one question using limit definition on your test. Okay. And then how do we do on 14? That's one of the number line problems. Increasing, decreasing, all that stuff. Okay, guys, what questions do you have? So remember, your test will be part math space, part free response. We're going back to that again. Make sure, like a few things to make it go smoother for you. I would go back through those math space homeworks. Make sure you're good with the notation. But you don't want to get hung up on something on the test because you didn't do the homework. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you've seen that stuff before and you understand what it's asking you to do. Like the beginning of the 10-6 homework, where it's like, you're plugging the u in, you're not plugging the whole function in, all that stuff. And really, the better you know this stuff and what the directions are asking you to do, the easier the test is going to be. You don't want to be hung up in the middle of it going, oh, it's asking about slope. I don't know what slope is. Like, you need to know the derivative tells me the slope of the tangent line. Like, you need to be really comfortable with what the derivative is doing, what the original function is doing, all of those things, okay? And remember, this unit also includes limits from the very beginning, so there are some limit questions on your test. Questions? Okay, so there's the Delta Math review. All the second attempts and extra practice on the homeworks on MathSpace. There's also extra practice and review posted on Schoology for you if you want more paper pencil practice. Just come prepared on Monday, okay, guys? So you have the rest of the time to work on all of those things and ask me questions on anything you're stuck on. Okay?